Let's allow ourselves to ease into a profound, electric, insightful, impactful, and deeply peaceful sleep. Let's allow ourselves to lay in our bed and imagine as though we are inside the cosmic womb of creation, a womb that is warm, a womb that has all the nutrition and vitality we need to grow and blossom. Let's imagine this womb that we are in that cradles us, that loves us, that helps us. Let's imagine it is like the ocean current, and we are moving with the ocean current as though the womb of creation is the ocean. It is fluid, it is movement, it is grace. So let us remember, we are brilliant, we are expansive, we are complete and whole. We have everything we need within us, all around us, to grow, to blossom, to fulfill our visions, our dreams, and to be masters of creation, to be masters of our life, our mental, our emotional, our spiritual and physical life. We are masters. So under this 7/7 day, I would like to share my own unique spiritual insights. My mother and I, we were contemplating about Jay-Z new release, the title being 444. For those of you who resonate with angel numbers, 444 is a part of the new earth frequency. It is a sign, a divine sign from the angels, an angelic frequency to 444. And I asked myself this question, and I was asking my mother in relation to Jay-Z's new album coming out. And this question was, I believe Jay-Z is more spiritually connected and in tune than we think. Why isn't he sharing the wisdom? Because I felt that 444 was a statement to himself and to his audience that he has wisdom, that he is tapped into this new dimension that literally is sitting right on top of us. It may seem invisible right now, but it is smack on top of us, this dimension. So I asked myself the question, and at the same time, my higher self, I like to say my shaman spirit, because I always envision my higher self as a shaman, spoke to me. At the same time, my self that is I, right here, couldn't come to an answer. The darkness. We refer to the darkness a lot. The darkness as in the traditional religious dogmatic, it is evil, it is prejudice, discrimination, that is darkness. But I saw that darkness and light, it's like the flipping of a coin. It's like they're one and the same, which is very mind-blowing because of the dogma that has been centuries and centuries and centuries in my ancestral lineage. So what I saw is that darkness is simply concealing, withholding the wisdom. For example, Jay-Z, I feel, is very wise with this 444 album that's coming out, but he is withholding the information, meaning he isn't openly sharing himself with the world. And I believe that is living in darkness. Now again, darkness is not evil and something that's scary or creepy. I don't think of Jay-Z as somebody evil or scary. I think of him as like my neighbor, just a guy, an ordinary person as we all are. Except the darkness, living in the darkness is the fear. It is the, I don't want to say too much, so I'm going to withhold information to keep people still interested. And it brought me to this channel message about the Vatican and how the Vatican has given us these hints and these clues, very vague. It's like giving us these manuscripts with very sophisticated, advanced metaphors and analogies, but not really giving us the tool on how to decode. It's like throwing us a book in a different language and say, here you go, figure it out. So that right there has taken us centuries to figure out, and we still don't know really anything about particularly the Bible. We have all of these thoughts and all of these different perspectives and interpretations, but still we do not truly know what is taking place in these analogies and metaphors. So I believe there is a tool that is the bridge to the wisdom, such as the Vatican presenting, for example, this gigantic pine cone that's outside the main, you could say the main building, which is, the Vatican in Italy. And the tool, the bridge, would be some sort of practice that we could do that could help us connect I to infinity, which is our current level awareness, which is very limited, to the cone, the giant cone, and the cone representing the pineal gland. The pineal gland, the Buddha head with the pine-shaped head, and even other ancient cultures, there's this pine cone which represents the pineal gland. So there is this message of spiritual divinity coming from a little pea-shaped pineal gland in the center of the brain behind the eyes. And yet there are no tools. But the thing is, the Vatican has tools because they are able to connect I to infinity, to connect the dots. So we have all these pieces, but we don't have the tool, the practice, you could say a meditation, a yoga, a path that can help us to put these pieces together. And that, I believe, is living in the darkness. For example, psychics. A lot of times psychics, they give you a little bit of information. Why? Because they want you to come back. If they give you all of the information at one time, it would be quite overwhelming for the person. and also they would not come back. Or they may come back for guidance on how to decode this gigantic mass of information that was given to them. So the thing is, the darkness lives in a relationship of codependence, meaning I thrive off of people needing me. For example, the Vatican. The Vatican gives us sort of vagueness sometimes and doesn't really give us the complete tool kit, the complete meditation or practice, because then we would kind of go off, go within our own stillness, our own silence, and we wouldn't need them because we would find the insights, the revelations about the analogies and metaphors without them, without needing them, without needing their validation, without needing to go to Sunday Mass, because I grew up going to Sunday Mass, and there's always this feeling of leaving, and you've learned something, but there's always this feeling of we had to return next Sunday because I need to get more information. I need to get more. There's something incomplete. So we get into this more, this codependence, as though if I continue to go to Sunday Mass, I am going to gain more information. I mean, the universe itself, the wisdom itself, is very infinite, but can't be comprehended through an intellectual, let's look at this metaphor or analogy in the Bible of Jesus, and let's intellectually, it means this. I feel the tool is the meditation. It is the bridge to I, meaning singular, me in this vessel, to infinity, which is the spirit guides, the teachers that are not even physical, that are invisible in some dimension that's on top of this dimension. Because I believe dimensions are layered. And the layered dimensions create this spherical energy, like a vortex, like your aura that is cycling counterclockwise. Motions like swirling energy, like the north and south poles, but it's layered, it's stacked up. The dimensions are layered and stacked up, because that is the creation of the universe. It's infinite, so therefore there's going to be infinite sort of simultaneous ways of living on Earth than just the way we know today, which is our third dimensional way. There's definitely more than just this is it. So the tool is the meditation. It's like here's the philosophy, here is the analogy and the metaphor, here's the Bible. But without the tool, without the meditation, the inward seeking, no one is able to make sense of it, and therefore codependent on the priests who they think are able to make sense of it. Because the priest, the identity, the individuals that are propagandized are told the priest is what they need. The priest is the meditation they don't know how to do, therefore they need the priest, because the priest can do the meditation to connect I to infinity. So there we go, we get into this codependence. So what I felt was darkness is this codependent relationship with your surroundings, meaning you're hiding, you're withholding information. It could even be you're giving vagueness. Now at the same time, I do believe that information, such as wisdom and teachings, it wouldn't be understood if it was just, oh, here's the whole download, here's everything in one big, here it is. Nobody would get it. But the energy behind you could say the gradual progression of releasing information, If the energy behind it is I am addicted to my monarchy status, such as you could say the Catholic religion, I'm addicted to this way of living. We can talk about even other things. For example, this is a very controversial topic, but even the industry of pharma itself, when I think about it, there's a lot of information being withheld, about health. About health. There's an addiction with pharma, with their status quo, their billion-dollar industry. An addiction to it, meaning you're codependent to the people being this so that you can have this. Because if they had the meditation, again, we get to the tool. If they had the meditation, the tool, they would be able to start to be visionary people. And when they become visionary people, they begin to seek health within, seek the revelations within, and understand that within is how they'll have the clarity, not I'm going to go to the priest or I'm going to go to the doctor to get my insight on my own life and my own, what I'm here to do and my originality and who I am. So pharma is in darkness because of the withholding of information for the purpose of to continue the addiction to the billion-dollar industry. So that was the channel message. The discussion about pharma was something that just channeled through me that I was very surprised because I wasn't really thinking about any of this. It just came through my vessel. So I believe that to continue the flow of this channel message is to share it with you all in hopes that it resonates and can help you see darkness and light and different perspective. It may help you in some way. So, with these addictions, such as religion, the codependence on the people, such as pharma, the codependence on the people being sick, therefore you get money, therefore your billion-dollar industry continues on. It all has to do with foresight. Okay, the Vatican, even pharma, they may have foresight, meaning have little meetings and discuss about the predictions of how the world is turning and what may come about in the next 2-3 decades. But the foresight, the head of the trend, they cannot truly grasp it because they haven't had their own experience of emergence of time. They haven't truly grounded and anchored that Aquarian frequency, the new age, the new earth that's layered on top of us. So this foresight, not being able to grasp what the new system of reality will be like, there's fear. There's fear because you're very addicted, Vatican addicted to, again, their money, their fame, their monarchy system, their control. I'm here and very comfortable here, very comfortable. And the same as pharma, billion-dollar industry, I'm very comfortable here. At the same time, I fear because the world is changing. And I have foresight, but I don't know how to create something that is for sure going to give me the same level of addiction that my previous endeavor has, such as having a billion-dollar industry of pharma, or probably $1 billion with the Vatican. I mean, they probably are billion-dollar people. Dynasty, I like to say. So the foresight, us, you and I, being ahead of the trend, considered peculiar, considered otherworldly, considered even childlike, a kindred spirit, light-hearted, a spiritual person. We are cutting cords with any of these addictions so that we can focus on the meditation, and the meditation is the door, the portal, the bridge to the visionary, the foresight, be able to truly grasp what that foresight is, and the visions, and use our will and use our faith to be the embodiment of these visions, with at the same time not allowing ourselves to be addicted or codependent to this outcome, this business, this dollar bill, this fame, this control, this hierarchy system that I want this vision or business to become. Because that's all coming from fear. It's all coming from the old paradigm. So the fear, the pharma, and in the religion practice, particularly in the Vatican, I feel, is due to this fear because of the inability to truly have faith in the visions, faith in trust in the visions, and faith in change. It gets boring to just, you living your $1 billion industry and you're keeping it very consistent, but at the same time at the cost of everybody. Meaning, pharma, people need to be sick so I can be $1 billion industry, so I can sell a $800 pill. That is, we are lowering the energy of the people so we can have energy in the form of money or in the form of control. But at the end of the day, the energy doesn't go anywhere. It's just a back and forth like a ping pong table. It's not moving. It's just, the game is just goes and goes on and on. There's no evolution. It's just you're finding new ways to be a better tennis player. But the game still is the same. There's no evolution. So to truly evolve as a planet, think about sports. If we go with this analogy with sports, we have vast sports because we evolve. And part of evolution is not, let's just play ping pong or tennis and have that as our only sport and just try to find as many different ways to play tennis. No, we created other sports because it's a part of evolution. So doing the racket of school, for example, the racket of the industry, the institution, getting millions of dollars at the cost of young people getting in $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in debt. It's the same as the tennis game. It's, here you go, here's school, oh, here you go, here's my money, I'm going in $30,000 in debt. 30. So the system is a revolving system. We play tennis for a little bit, and then we move on to basketball, into football. All these systems are different. The Piscean Age had a system, and now we're evolving to a new sport. It's like a new game of play, because we're quite bored, and we're not evolving in that old system, but we fear, because we feel like we have to relearn. It's like you learn tennis, now you have to learn football, and these pharma, the school system, even the Vatican has to learn a new sport, and is quite fearful and frustrated because they've gotten so addicted, so attached to their I am the best at tennis. Now I have to be the best at football. I don't really want to do that. I'd rather just be the best at tennis because I feel good about myself, because people applaud me, people admire me. And when I play football, I don't know what I'm doing. I look like a mess. People don't think I'm good. So that is the trouble. And many of you may have to take time to truly understand that analogy that I was communicating to you guys. But everything is a revolving door, like sports. It's like a summer camp. You have a station of tennis, a station of football, a station of basketball, a station of ice hockey, a station of dance class. It's constantly revolving. And when we get stuck in a door, fearful to cross into a new door because we're addicted to our status, to the control, it feels good. Especially the leaders, the Piscean leaders, the Vatican being one, Pharma being another, more recent, kind of a late bloomer, but it's still the Piscean age. These leaders are not going to be leaders. And when you're addicted to being a leader, a control factor in the economics, in the social, in ideology of particular regions around the world, people don't want to give that up. They don't want to give up their leadership to the next rotation, which is the next group of souls or group of new systems that are going to basically replace them. But the thing is, it's all a part of the flow. We're all rotating. We're all rotating into these different positions in life. And those who are truly the Aquarian leaders they're using their will to rotate the world. That's the thing, we need rotators. Because right now there is resistance to rotate, to step out of the door, out of the addiction to the next rotation, the cycle of Earth. And I believe as ancient individuals before the Egyptians, okay, I believe life was very much like the shamans. We were very open, we let go, we didn't get addicted to our age. For example, Aries age or Taurus age. We weren't addicted, we weren't attached, like desperate if we didn't have this with us anymore. We were shamans, we let go, therefore our acceleration and growth, our vitality and happiness was much higher than it is today because we had this ability to let go. We didn't have all these addictions and these ties, like we're chained to this way of being. So the rotators, they've been coming, and particularly the last 100, even 200 years, individuals, particularly North America and slavery, has been a very big one that happened very rapidly if you look at it. Very rapidly. It has happened because of these rotating people that knew how to basically bend time and space. How to move this culture, this region into the next system of being. But if we think about slavery, it has been thousands of years of racism, thousands of years. But that was a very profound shift. It's just kind of like you're doing yoga and you have this really tense thing and you're stretching and you don't feel the release. You're stretching, an hour goes by, you still don't feel the relief, but then all of a sudden you hear a crack, it releases. It's very much with slavery. Thousands of years we've been trying to get relief, we've been stretching, we've had people trying to help, and nothing works. And then all of a sudden that crack And overnight, it seems, in a very short amount of time, the relief just happens, like a relief in your hip cracks, and you're like, oh, it just, all the tension goes away all at once. Profound healing experience. So when I think about this Capricorn energy, because I'm connecting with the full moon right now, and Capricorn is kind of the buddy with Aquarius. Capricorn being builders. When I feel Capricorn, I feel a foundation. So who knows? We may enter into Capricorn after this 1,000 years period in Aquarius. Capricorn. Nobody really knows for sure. We haven't really fully downloaded the ancient wisdom of understanding the ages and the cycles and how it kind of happens, what the groove is. But the Capricorn energy is like a solid foundation. It is the builders taking the old designs and transforming them into something that's more up to date. Kind of like you can imagine skyscrapers in New York City. During the Capricorn age, they would transform. Maybe look more like skyscrapers in the Tomorrowland movie. That's the Capricorn energy. You're taking something outdated, a foundation that maybe is just not as sturdy as it could be, and you're transforming it. You're rebuilding it. It's like a demolish to rebuild. So I feel these messages that I've communicated to you guys, my own spiritual insight, relates to the Capricorn energy, because everything I've mentioned about the Vatican, the pharma, and the darkness, withholding of information and providing, here is the analogy and metaphor without the tool and how to actually decode it. What's going on right now, what I feel, these channel messages, is we are looking at our foundation and realizing that our foundation actually is not good. Our foundation is pretty not good. Like in DC. DC can't go above 12 stories because it's swampland. Now, the swampland is not pretty good foundation to build skyscrapers. Because a lot of the garages are sinking. They are literally sinking in DC. So we are looking at our foundation and realizing that our foundation for kids is not going to help us. The foundation of you need to get a job, go to college, just get a job. Any job, just get anything. That's not working, because what's happening is people are using drugs and alcohol and are exhausted because they're trying to fulfill, trying to grow on this foundation that is very limiting, that just creates tiredness. So we have to change the foundation. We have to throw it out, and we have to tell ourselves, we're not here to just go to college and just get any random job and then just wait to die, then retire. Like, retirement is when we can be free. No. The core message for today's podcast is our foundation is being thrown out. Our religion, this pharma, the darkness, the ideas of evil and good, all of this foundation that's keeping us very limited and not helping us. It's very tiring, this foundation. This just, wake up and just, work. You're just here to work and then die, and retirement, is your days of peace. That's going thrown out the window because it's not working. People are they're not thriving in that foundation. It's like it's not fertile. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little late night podcast under the full moon in Capricorn. I wish the best for you all, and continue to shine your light and be yourself and connect with your inner shaman, your inner spirit,